Friends, welcome to my YouTube channel Smart Study with Shivani. With a high demand from the students back in India, I have uploaded this video specially for them. Today we will be learning Science Standard 9, Chapter 13, Why Do We Fall Ill? It's from the NCERT book specially for my young kids. Wow, what a beautiful car it is. What do you think that what are the different parts of a car? They are tires, engine, steering wheel, horn, brakes, doors, windows, mirrors, and the list goes on. Imagine what will happen to a car if any of these parts are not functioning well? Obviously, car won't be able to run smoothly. It will have some problem. Similarly, think of a human body, a most complex machine made by Almighty. Human body is made up of different types of organs, organs further made up of tissues, and tissues made up of cells. Anything that prevent proper functioning of these cells and tissues leads to the improper functioning of our human body, which results into bad health or illness. So friends, what do you mean by health? Health merely does not mean that it is the absence of any disease. It also represents the state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being of a human being. Mental means he should be free from all tension, worries, any pressure, maybe it's a peer pressure or work pressure, anything. And social. Socially, he should be equal, harmony, and he should be into the community, not to be felt isolated. So, health is not only the absence of any disease, but also a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being. What are the factors which determine health? There are basically two factors which determine health. They are personal factors and community factors. Personal factors include the exercise, what we do, yoga, what we do when we wake up in the morning, certain good habits which keep our self hygiene like brushing, taking bath, combing of the hair, proper hand washing, toilet hygiene, coughing, sneezing, and we use handkerchief so that it doesn't spread, and obviously the home and the surrounding hygiene. Also, the fruits and the vegetables which we eat, that also forms the part of the personal factor. Like we include all types of vitamins, all types of minerals, and we get from all colorful vegetables and fruits. These are our own individual responsibility of eating, doing exercise, and keeping our self hygiene. So these are the personal factors. Now we look about the community factors. Garbage on the roads, cleaning of the drains, they form the community factor wherein not an individual person is responsible, but it is the job of the entire community not to spread dirt or throw rubbish onto the roads, but to be put into the designated bins. Now this also depends upon the way kids are playing. If the kids are playing into the dirty muddy puddle, then they will be having a health issues. But if they are playing in a lush green playground or a garden, doing some physical activities like playing football, skipping, badminton, basketball, cycling, then it will represent into their good health. So our health not only depends upon our own personal habit, but also on the environment around us. Now about the bad health and the disease. Bad health means a person who is not feeling well. But a disease means either the functioning or the appearance of one or more systems of the body will change to worse. In the simple language, it means that our body is not comfortable with the with its own self. For example, we have a pain in the thighs, then it will represent a bad health. But if we have measles or the coronavirus, then it will become a disease. I hope you are clear with the difference between bad health and a disease. Now we will look for different steps for the disease. First, we will look of the disease. Know the symptoms of the COVID, which can include the following, like coughing, fever, chills, muscle pain, shortness of the breath, sore throat, and new loss of the taste or the smell. Then these are the symptoms which can indicate a particular disease. So what do you mean by the symptoms? Symptoms are the problems which indicate that the person is suffering from some disease. Feeling as being wrong. Symptoms also indicate or tell us that the presence of the disease, but they don't indicate exactly which disease it is. Because, for example, the symptoms of asthma are wheezing, cough in the night, chest pain, shortness of the breath, and difficult breathing. But if we look upon COVID symptoms and asthma symptoms, shortness of the breath is one of the common. So as an individual, we will not be able to judge that we have the problems of asthma or it is because of COVID. So what we do is we consult a doctor. So doctors basically analyze the signs basis the symptoms. The signs will give you little more definite indication of the presence of a disease. And if doctors are not able to determine from sign by just having the visual things, then he will consult or he will suggest for blood test. Now there are different types of diseases, acute disease and a chronic disease. So we will first understand the difference and we will have a gradual understanding. Acute diseases are those diseases that last for only very short period of time, whereas chronic diseases are those diseases that last for a long time, even as much as lifetime. Acute, they are the mostly not bad effects on our health. Example, cough and cold, they don't have any bad effect on our health, whereas the chronic disease, they are drastically for a long period of time, so they have long term effects. For example, diabetes, tuberculosis, cancer. These are the images which represent the examples of acute disease and the chronic disease. Now we will look on the causes of the diseases. What can be the cause of a disease? So this child is suffering from the stomachache. Symptoms are acute pain, vomiting, nausea and diarrhea. So the basic question the doctor will ask is what food he had last night. So child will reply that they went to a restaurant for a party and they had pizza and burger. From there, the doctor will be able to conclude that the root cause was the outside food or the junk food. Over here, the child is suffering from the stomach pain with the same symptoms, that he is having acute pain, vomiting, nausea, diarrhea. Similar, the same question is asked by the doctor to this child, that what food he had last night. But child replied that he had the cooked food at home only, which was cooked by his mother. And mother also add that he doesn't wash his hands before eating. So from both these causes, the doctor will be able to easily conclude that the first case or the one case is of eating the unhealthy food or junk food outside at the restaurant, which has caused the microbes into the stomach, and other one is because of the bad hands which he used while eating the home cooked food. Now, what are the causes actually? So, pathogens are one of the major cause of any disease. Pathogens are those organisms that cause diseases like bacteria, virus, fungi, or worms. Poor health or undernourishment is also the another cause. Undernourishment means you are not getting enough of the food in all your meals. Malfunctioning of the body parts. That means it is improper functioning of various body parts like paralysis or some other genetic disorder. Even the environmental pollution becomes one of the cause for disease. Now, diseases are of basically two types: infectious and non infectious. Infectious and non infectious are the scientific terminology, but with the help of this slide, I will be able to guide you and make you understand the simpler manner about the difference. Diseases where microbes or the microorganisms are the immediate cause, then these diseases are called infectious diseases. They are also called as communicable diseases. The microbes can easily spread in the community and spreads from one infected person to another healthy person through air, water, food, or even through a physical contact. Examples are common cold, chickenpox, measles, COVID 19, etc. That's why, remember 2 years back when the COVID was there, all were telling that you have to maintain social distance and you should avoid physical contact with any other person, because you are unaware whether that the other person is infected or not infected, and you were always told to wear mask. Now, about non-infectious diseases. Diseases which are not caused by infectious agents, that is the microbes, they are called non-infectious diseases. These diseases don't spread from infected person to the healthy person. Rather, the causes are mostly internal. For example, diabetes, blood pressure, cancer, blindness, etc. If a person in my family is having a diabetes and if I touch that person, then the diabetes will not be spread into my body. So, it is called as non-infectious disease. Hope my kids are with me and they are getting what I am trying to make them understand. Now we will study about the diseases which are caused by virus. Common cold, flu, dengue, AIDS, they are the examples caused by virus. Another with bacteria. Fever, cholera, tuberculosis. Fungi, it's skin infection like ringworm. Now protozoan, which is usually a single cell, it is malaria and kalazar. Worms, elephantiasis, which means the lymph nodes and the lymph vessels. There is a swelling on the lymph nodes and the vessels. Why is it so important that we think of these categories of infectious agents? As a student, just try to get answer that why we are studying that which disease is caused by which microorganism. Why cold is caused by virus, that is important to study. So, dear friends, the answer is to decide the treatment or to cure the ill person to it. Example, low fever, we will be giving a calpol syrup rather than giving a combiflam. Also, the wet cloth on the head and other doses of those medicines are there. In simple terminology, if we say that if we have a low grade fever, we will use the medicine of lesser intensity, that is a calpol. And even sometimes we avoid giving medicine and rather we use some natural home remedies. If, for example, if somebody is having mild cough, our parents will rather give you turmeric powder and salt powder, or will give us shitopladi rather than to jumping into the Vicodil syrup. This is same case. Same drug and medicine will not be working against a microbe belonging to a different group. So for example, if I have a cough which is because of virus, and if I take a medicine which will not have the ability to cure it, because I'm taking the medicine from a group which cures the disease from the bacteria. So that drug will not have any effect on my body, and my body will continue to get more and more affected with the disease. Example, if cholera, which is a bacterial disease, is there, then the doctor will give ORS or the lemon juice or a lopamide to control the diarrhea and the water loss. But the same medicines will not work in the case of malaria, which is called by protozoan microorganism. Okay. Viruses live in the host cells, whereas bacteria rarely do. So viruses, bacteria, fungi multiply very quickly, whereas worms multiply very slowly compared to them. About the antibiotics. Chemical substances obtained from microorganisms like bacteria and fungi that inhibit or they stop the growth of other microorganisms is called as antibiotic. Example, penicillin is obtained from Penicillium notatum. It blocks the formation of cell wall in the bacteria, that a protective covering. Then bacteria becomes unable to make a cell wall and they die easily. Antibiotics cannot have effect on human cells as they don't make any cell wall. Many antibiotics can work against many species of bacteria rather than simply working against one. Antibiotics do not work against viral infections because viruses do not use the same pathway as that of bacteria. So dear students, till now what we have learnt? We have learnt about what are the two factors which determine the health, that is personal and community. What do you mean by bad health and disease? They are same? No. Diseases can be identified by signs and symptoms. What are the acute and chronic diseases? And depending upon the duration of one, which is short term, and other is the long term, we are able to decide that whether it is an acute or a chronic disease. Now give examples of pathogens, that is bacteria, virus, fungi, worms. Is the ringworm a type of disease caused by bacteria? No. Is common cold infectious disease? Yes. What are antibiotics? Chemical substances obtained from microorganisms like bacteria and fungi that inhibit or stops the growth of other microorganisms. Now students, you have a homework that you have to list down 3 reasons for yourself when you were sick and when you consulted doctor since your childhood. If you don't remember, then you can take your parents' help. That's all from my end today. Do like, share and subscribe my channel, and thank you so much. Have a good day.